Welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I am your host, Dr. Yukon Suckit. Yes, I do take most major insurances, so please make sure to check in with my receptionist at the front window. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, currently inside of a submarine coming up from the bottom of the Marianas Trench. I've only got 45 minutes of air left, so hopefully we'll make it. But while we're waiting and trying not to get the bins, I'm going to show you this deck I found over on, where was it? Magic GG, I believe it is. Yeah, Magic GG. Check the link in the description, which I have entitled, let me clear my throat here, GRUUL Landfall. And technically it's GRUUL-ish landfall because we do have a little bit of white mana in here as well. We have Felidar Retreat and Yasharn, the Implacable Earth. They take white, but it's a very small percentage. It seems very gruely, so we're picking GRUUL rather than, what is it otherwise? Juned or not Juned? I don't know. Whatever. I forget what the tri-lands are a lot of times. So anyways, let's take a look at the low end here. We've got Voltage Surge doing 2 points of damage. If we had an artifact to sacrifice, we could deal an additional, we could do 4 instead. Let's see, we got Prosperous Innkeeper. He could deal a treasure token. That's an artifact. So therefore, if we have nothing better to do with that treasure, we can use it to do up to 4 points of damage. We have Emergent Sequence, who you search your library for a basic land, you put that into the battlefield tapped, and then it becomes a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature that's still a land. And you put a +1/+1 counter on it for each land that you had to enter the battlefield under your control this turn. Just to jump ahead for the combo there, we've got a bunch of the new Capenna lands that when it comes into play, you sacrifice it. Got a bunch of those. And then you search your library for a basic whatever, it's one of 3 different types, swamp, mountain, forest in this case, and you put that into the battlefield tapped and you gain a land. So that means if you were to play one of like these Riveteers Overlook, it means you put out 1, that's 1 land drop, then you sacrifice it, you go get another land, that's 2 land drops. And so then we come over here and we play this one, and this becomes technically your 3rd land drop, which means you get a 3/3 out of the deal rather than a 1/1 or a 2/2, because it counts for itself. So that's your combo associated with Emergent Sequence. Let's see, is there anything else in here to get even more lands potentially? No, this guy doesn't do it. This is the real deal right there. Return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. We'll talk about him when we get to it. All right, so we got Prosperous Innkeeper. When he comes into play, he generates a treasure token. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. So if you're desperate for life, you can start focusing on putting creatures out, and we'll talk about that later. We got Brushfire Elemental. This guy comes out, he's got haste. He is a 1/1. He only costs you 2 to put out. But, and he cannot be blocked by creatures with power of 2 or less. Great. That means at the early point, you're just flying through, nobody can do anything about it. But you got Landfall. Whenever a land comes into the battlefield under your control, he gets +2/+2. So therefore, you put this out, he becomes a 3/3. When you sacrifice it and it comes back, he becomes a 5/5. If you play Emergent Sequence, he becomes a 7/7. So you got that going for you. We've got Fable of the Mirrorbreaker, aka Kiki-Jiki. So when it comes out, it becomes a 2/2 Red Goblin Shaman, who can, when it attacks, you create a treasure token, which you can then use Volt Surge to do 4 points of damage. You may discard 2 cards and draw as many cards as you discard. So you got that if you're really looking to change your hand up a little bit. And the last thing he does is he creates the reflection of Kiki-Jiki, who for 1 mana can be tapped to create a copy of a non-legendary creature you control, except for it has haste, which you would probably do to put out, well, you could do it on a land, which would make it then another land drop. What else could you do on Brushfire Elemental, which would then allow you to then put a land drop up to do twice as much landfall-y kind of damage eventually. all that kind of cool stuff. We've got Valakut Exploration. So this is an enchantment, and whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you exile the top card of your library, and you may play that card as long as it remains exiled. So you could pay for it or not, it just sits there. At the beginning of your end step, if there are cards exiled with Valakut Exploration, you put them into their owner's graveyard, and then Valakut Exploration deals that much damage to each opponent. All right, so I'll get back to the combo with that in a little bit. So we got Felidar Retreat, cost you 4, it's an enchantment. And then whenever you play a land, you could choose to do one of the following, which is you create a 2/2 white cat beast token, or you could put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control, and those creatures gain vigilance until the end of the turn. So as we can see, we have a lot of opportunity for lands to come into play on any one turn. And so therefore, you can put cat, 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 cat. If you have a Prosperous Innkeeper, that's life, 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 life. But if you didn't want to, you had enough creatures out, you could just start pounding those +1 counters out, and then your dudes are just pumping like crazy. We got Splendid Reclamation. So this is your Trixie Devil right there. It only costs 4, and your deck is ramping anyway, so 4 should not be a problem. And the other thing about Splendid Reclamation, it says return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Man, I don't care if they come in, because what you're looking for is landfalls. And what happens to these cards after they get used? They go to your graveyard. So that means that if you've been playing 4, 5, or 6 of them, they're all in your graveyard, you bring them back, that's 6 landfalls, then they get sacrificed, they come back with 6 more lands, that's 6 more landfalls, which means that if you had one of these out, you could potentially put +12 on each creature you control. And Brushfire Elemental would then be +24. What he really needs is Trample at that point, but you don't got it. So hopefully they're just not prepared for this stuff, because you gotta balance what you're gonna do based upon what you need at the moment. Because if you use this to create, let's say, creatures instead, you could create 24 2/2 cat white beast tokens, which means on the next turn you'd be able to then attack like crazy, and unless they wipe you out. But you just got to balance it based upon what you're going up against there. At the strong end here, we've got Yasharn, the Implacable Earth. He's a 4/4 for 4. When he enters the battlefield, you search for basic lands and plane, and you put them into your hand. Players can't play life or sacrifice non-land permanents to cast spells or activate abilities. They can't pay life or sacrifice non-land permanents. So he's kind of an obstacle that keeps your opponents from doing certain things. So that'd be mostly what? Black things? Yeah, mostly black things, really. All right, so other than that, we've got some regular lands, and we got a lot of these play and sacrifice lands. Tri-lands at that. Nothing in the sideboard. So that's the deck. Let's take it out and see how well it does. Subscribe. All right, we're playing against InvalidBigKitty. InvalidBigKitty. Keep. No Brushfire Elemental, so it's going to be a little on the slow side. Let's see if we can still make it work. Apparently we're not playing first, so I'll poke a dragon in an eye. Oh, are we playing first? All right, so yeah, we are got some weird things going here. It'd be nice to have some white mana. I guess we got one right there. Take that hit. All right, we'll slap out some additional land. You know, Felidar Retreat first. Auto pay. There we go. And now we can start out by putting some beasts out. In the future, we can start putting +1 counters on everything. All attack. Had to get that counter on him. All right, Big Kitty. Suck it. Subscribe. All right, we're playing against Smiley Joe. Smiley Joe. All right, what do we got here? Opponent goes first. We got a Brushfire Elemental. This could be a little weird. I guess we just have to... I'd love to put that out after I get the Brushfire Elemental out. Emergent Sequence is definitely going to help out, though. We'll see what we draw first here. If it's a land, we'll be in good shape. If not, we'll still be in okay shape. And it is not a land. Okay, so let's go party. I'm gonna pull a red. All right, Brushfire Elemental. All attack. Now we don't have any more mana left. But he's gonna have a bunch of little tiny dudes. It'll be super cool. That guy's on the strong side now. He's just going all out like I am, unfortunately. Alright, let's start up with a little bit of this. White would be nice. Can we grab it? Yes, we can. And let's put out one of these. Green. All attack. I see. So this guy gets vigilance off of that crap? Vigilance. That's not good. I needed that last mana. See, this guy's just gonna rock it. Nope, I think we're out of this. That vigilance is destroying us in this situation. Do we even have any direct damage in here? Voltage Surge would take care of it. And that is not a Voltage Surge. There's 10. Of course, you'll be able to block it. There's the other 5, right in your face. Nothing I can do here. We're done. Subscribe. Alright, we're playing against Pjparson. Or is it Pjparson. Okay, a whole lot of nothing. Alright, we're going to keep it though. We want a forest card, so we'll go grab one of those. Let's go get a Fountain. Well, we are traveling slow tonight. Let's grab a white, why not? Put out the Innkeeper. Kill ourselves, whatever that thing is. Give him a treasure token. I'm going to green up on this one. Go for the Emergent Sequence. Green again, why not? And I'll attack. Wonder what they could do. They got plenty of red. They could do lots of direct damage. Draw 2 cards. All right. I'm going to go for a pump up on the dudes I got by putting out Felidar Retreat. We'll put out a double land. And we're going to do +1 counters at this point. We're going to bring this in. I might as well go for another green. We're going to go for +1 counters, and we're all going to attack in for 8. Oh, I needed that enchantment badly. All right, we got within lethal. Can we keep ourselves alive? Keep those dudes trucking. He's got tons of mana and tons of cards. I gotta believe so. Sure is taking a long time for saying I can kill one of your guys. Come on, PJ. Valakut Exploration, all attack. Whenever a land enters the field under your control, exile the top card of your library. You may play the card as long as it remains exiled. And I'll see you later, Invoke Despair. Kiki Jiki. Well, this guy's getting desperate. Of course, so am I. Nope, we're going to decline. We'll keep it. We're going to double Kiki Jiki. All right, man. I need to get something. Come on, deck. You got to provide. Okay. Apparently it's the Kiki Jiki show. Where the tables are sure turned here. That's not good. Ooh, that's weird that he didn't realize he can keep his own guy. He just really wants that treasure. Come on, deck, provide. We are dead. Come on, PJ. You could do it. Just pass the turn. I did something awesome. Okay. Whoa, we just smoked this guy. He had no idea that I wasn't going to be able to do anything. Subscribe. Alright, playing against Smiley Joe again. There we go. We got 3 mana. No Brushfire Elementals, but we'll see what we can do. Let's go look for ourselves a forest. Prosperous Innkeeper. Yeah, sure, okay, die. Alright, I'm going to take another forest. Then we shall Emergent Sequence here for red. Alright, we can Felidar Retreat on our next turn. Yeah, let's just cat up, I guess. We got 2 more mana going. Sure, let's do it. Auto pay. Another cat. Battlefield shield counter. Look at the top card. Top card removing counter from creature control. Additional. Yeah, I don't know. All right, let's go for this. We're going to double up on Felidar. We're going to start pumping people now. +1. +1. Green. Plus. Plus. All attack. Broke his shield. And that's it. See you later, Smiley Joe. Alright, so this is the Platinum Mythic GRUUL Landfall deck. And as you can see, it is a fast and explosive deck full of potential for power and ingenuity. It's the secret is all in these what are they? The Cabaretti card or the Capina land cards that drop into play sacrifice themselves, and then go get another card. So you're getting 2 land drops for every one of these. And what's nice is that they're all like essentially tri-lands as well. So it helps you to fix your mana as well. I mean, you're only playing, well, I guess it's three colors. We're calling it GRUUL, but there is technically a white card in here, and this guy takes white too. So it's just we'll call it GRUUL-ish, okay? Because it's red and green, red and green, red and green, red and green, smidge of white. And these tri-lands are the things that really help you kind of mesh it all out, as well as getting the 2 drops per turn. And what's really excellent is you do one of those for 2, you pop out Emergent Sequence, which brings in a 3rd. So that's your 3rd land drop on that turn, as well as being able to pump up Emergent Sequence into a 3 counter guy right off the bat. Who else is fantastic? Oh yeah, that Valakut Exploration. Because that just scared the hell out of that guy one time. But Splendid Reclamation. Return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. So the best part about these things is they go to your graveyard, which means that you can cast Splendid Reclamation to bring all of those guys back, which then triggers all of the enter the battlefield effects associated with it. If you had Valakut Exploration sitting out, then that's a land entering the battlefield under your control. And what do? They go through the whole process again of essentially 2 land drops. And so you just pull it all out. You get all of those things available that you can play. But then it says, what? At the beginning of your end step, if there are cards exiled with it, put them into your owner's graveyard. Oh, and then it deals damage to that much opponent. Okay, never mind. This is way bigger than I thought. I thought it was something like if we had 3 or more. So I thought that's word if there are cards. I thought that if there are 3 or more cards exiled, that you put them in your graveyard. No. Literally, at the end of your turn, they just turn into damage that you do to your opponent. So that is insane. I didn't even know it was that good. All right. So there we go. So yeah, these things, dumping it down, get out of Valakut Exploration, and then play Splendid Reclamation to bring them all back. Because that just causes like all of these bunch of cards to come into your exiled area. You can play them, or you can just pass your turn and do like 1,000,000 points of damage. So yeah, crazy insano. Double Felidar Retreats with all the landfalls, pumping your dudes like crazy. Brushfire Elemental is so good because it cannot be blocked by creatures with power of 2 or less, and that is rampant right now. I mean, I wish it was like mana costs, have to be, greater than 2 or something, because there's so many guys that are less than that. So anyways, you have lots of abilities in this deck. So let's give it a rating. Is it competitive? Yeah, I think it is fairly competitive. I think that there's a lot of speed, a lot of explosive growth, and if you understand the combos that are going on this deck, you can leverage them for fun and entertainment. So for competition, yes. Fun, yes. I mean, the explosions are just insane. And lastly, is there a decent theme going on here? I mean, the theme is landfall, so yeah, I think so. You're playing a landfall deck, yeah, it's nice. It's nice to see it. It's nice to see what they're going to do. The one card I think I don't care for, sorta, is Voltage Surge, because you're able to do 2 points of damage. Do we have artifacts to sacrifice in here? Let's take a look around. I don't see any. Yeah, there's none. So it seems like you should be able to do something that maybe gets a little bit more than 2 points of damage, because Voltage Scourge is only doing 2. That's all you're going to get out of it. I might like to try to find something that does, like you have no protection against planeswalkers. You don't really have any trample. Yeah, nothing like that going on. You just have haste. Because that's the problem with this guy, was that we went up against this guy one time with this deck, and he just had where it just circled back all the time. So he'd get killed, and then he would just come and bring it back, and we couldn't do anything. He just kept blocking us constantly. We had to have like 2 of them out just to be able to get any sort of damage through. So anyways, this is the GRUUL-ish landfall deck, and I hope that you have as much fun with it as I did. That is all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. In the words of my people, be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes.